YouTube, what's going on? We got some really good news today on Etheria Restart. We have two brand new characters coming to Etheria Restart. The first one's going to be the Abyss Hunter Holden. Now, this unit right here, what type do you think he is? Do you think he's a red? Do you think he's a blue, a green, a light, or a dark? Which one do you guys think he is? I'll give you a second to think. Yeah, no, I don't know either. I'm they didn't tell us the type either. So your guess is as good as mine on what type this unit is. Hopefully they let us know more information on this unit in a few hours or by the time the unit comes out, I guess. We don't really know much about this character, but if I had to guess, I would say he would be a dark unit. However, spoiler alert, he most likely will not be a dark unit because if we are a little bit noticing the language that they use here, if you look on the right side of the screen, it says Holden is an Abyss Hunter, is an Anima Limited Summon unit. Anima Limited Summon unit is the term that they use for the purple banners. If we look up here as well, it says Hoyan is also an Anima Limited Summon unit. Now, you might think that could be a typo. Are they both actually going to be purple units? What about our golden banner? Who's going to be our light and dark unit for the week? Well, they actually posted this twice. As you see right here, this is last edited 1010. So they originally did a typo, and this Anima Limited Summon actually said exclusive limited summon, which sounds similar. You might think it's exactly the same. The intern kun definitely thought it was exactly the same thing, but if we go ahead and check out on the game real quick, it will it means some completely different things, right? So we'll go ahead and show you guys right here. Anima, I am really bad at saying anima. Anima Limited Summon is your normal banner for the RGBs. So as you see, this is Freya's banner, Anima Limited Summon. If we go ahead to Messiah's banner right here, this is the golden summon right here. If we check this out right here, it says exclusive summon. So if it says Anima Limited Summon, it means RGBs. If it says exclusive, it means light or dark. So since it said Anima Limited Summon, we now know that this unit is not going to be dark or light. So it's probably not going to be green since we have Hoyan as our green unit, which means I'm going to guess this is going to be a blue unit. If it's red, I don't know. It's going to be pulling an Epic 7 at that point. It's going to be a Teiyu all over again. Bro's all red, and then he's going to be like, oh, no, sorry, you're a blue unit. So from the colors, I'm going to guess he's a blue unit. We don't know anything about his kit. Since Hoyan is a very, very PvP heavy unit, this might be a PvE unit who's more on the... He better not be a blue DPS unit because I literally just pulled Rosa. Anyways, let's go ahead and go into the unit who we actually know. We know Hoyan right here. So we're going to be talking about Hoyan in this video. Most likely tomorrow they're going to give us more information on Holden, and then I'll be making a video on his skills on whether I think he's worth pulling or not. So let's go ahead and talk about Hoyan now. So for Hoyan, we actually have a slight trailer right here going over the skills and everything for her. So if we go ahead and watch this, you can see that Hoyan is an SSR hollow unit. So she's going to be pretty good. If we go ahead and stop right here and zoom on in, we can see her stats. So just at a quick glance right here, we can see her speed. This is a very important stat to be paying attention to on all units in the game, as well as her attack, defense, and other stuff. It's all important, but speed, it tells you what kind of unit this is going to be. Her speed being at 113. If we go ahead and hop into the game real quick, just to compare it to some other units, right? If we hop into the game, who is a really popular unit? Messiah. Messiah's speed is 117. So a speed of 113 is actually kind of on the low side, right? If we go ahead and check out something like Didding's 118, 118 on Real Mocha, 106 on Valerian. So unless this isn't fully maxed out on the prowess, this is going to be a slightly slower unit. So do keep that in mind. She's not going to be an insanely fast opener like Freya. However, 113 is not the slowest unit, but she is pretty slow if we take a look at like Heinrich and stuff. So do keep in mind that she's going to not be an opener unit. So she might be a unit that will be pairing well with someone who can push her up a bit since she's not going to be taking that turn one on her own. Now, The reason why she's not going to be taking that turn 1 on her own is because she's got a unique ability where when she dies, then she gets a guaranteed S3, which is pretty crazy. So we'll go ahead and show that real quick right here. When let's go ahead and show it that part where she just does her thing, and then we'll talk about the other skills. So when she dies right here, she'll then revive herself and then immediately counterattack and S3 the unit. And then the crazy thing is, if she kills the unit, she will then revive one of her teammates with just a sliver of health. And they're going to be on the very back of the bar, it looks like. So it won't be too broken. This unit, as you see, they're using it in Doki Doki. This unit's probably just going to immediately die. Let's see if they even show that. No, they cut it off because, yeah, the unit that revives is just going to die in PvE. But that's pretty much it for her on the video that I wanted to go over. I wanted to go ahead and hop over here so we can explain the skills better and see what is worth investing and what is not worth investing on the skills. Now, do keep in mind, we don't know exactly what the stat bonuses are going to be. If the stat bonuses are something like speed, then obviously you got to invest in that most likely. But let's go ahead and go over the first skill. The first skill says Hoyan swiftly strikes, dealing 2 instances of 130% damage to a single enemy, with each attack having a 25% chance to inflict a wound for 2 turns. And this 25% chance is increased through her stats, through her prowess. So keep in mind that it's going to be most likely like 20% or something like that to start off with. So a very basic S1. However, wound is a pretty rare mechanic in the game as of right now. Not too many units have it, and a very strong mechanic, making your team, making the enemy team unable to be healed. I can think of a few PvE stages where that's actually helpful, and it's definitely helpful in PvP, assuming the healer doesn't have a cleanse, which a lot of the healers normally cleanse and then heal. So this might be a situational thing depending on which healer you're up against. Now, S2 right here is actually the passive. So as you see right here, passive, it says 4-turn cooldown. Pain is the perception of existence. When Hoyan is about to be defeated, immediately restores 60% of max HP. So this right here is why it's okay to have her on the slower side. That's why her base speed was pretty slow. And then she immediately uses execution rate, which is her S3, on the target that attacked her. This effect has a 4-turn cooldown. So the fact that she attacks the character that defeated her means that she can't really be like one shot by a squishy unit, such as like a Didding. If Didding snipes her, then she's just going to snipe him right back. And then she's going to have 60% HP and revive a teammate if someone's dead. So that's going to be pretty bad for any people who are squishy like that. It says when Hoyan defeats an enemy target, she will revive a fallen ally based on the defeated target's lost HP and prevent the defeated target from being revived. So she also has an execution. Each time the passive effect is triggered, Hoyan will apply 1 stack of Fleeting Glance to herself, stacking up to 3 layers. We don't, does it say what Fleeting Glance is? Fleeting Glance, okay, so it looks like Fleeting Glance is an attack boost. So I guess she has a unique attack boost for herself. That's pretty nice as well. And skill 3, execution rate. This is an order not to be defied. Hoyan consumes half of her HP to deal 480% damage to a single enemy, ignoring 6.5 defense for every 10% HP lost. That's very interesting. I was about to say, so you don't even want any HP on her. However, if she's got full HP, or the higher her HP percentage is, then the more pen she'll have. So if she's slightly on the bulkier side, she could possibly have a little bit more penetration, but most likely you're not going to want to build any HP on her since she's just going to be losing half of it. And you're going to just want to go full damage and hopefully get pushed up with like a Lily or something like that. Now, it doesn't say that this skill prevents a revive on its own, so I wonder if it will only prevent the revive, or actually it looks like it's probably going to prevent the revive no matter what through the passive, so that's pretty good. Reduces the skill cooldown by 1 turn at max level and increases the multiplier. So this skill right here, your S3, if you pull for Hoyan, is going to be a must max to do massive one-shot potential. And her S2 is probably going to be all right as well, but mostly her S3. With how limited our golden salads are, we're probably going to want to just go level up your S3. That's it. Now, what do I think about this character? Do I think this character is a must pull or what? As of right now, if you are happy with your PvE teams and you feel like you can clear Doki Doki, Aurora, and Teramaton, then absolutely, I absolutely think she's going to be an insane PvP unit. If, however, you are struggling with any of those PvE locations, and we find that Hoyan's not helping in any of those locations, which she might help in Doki Doki, but if you have got Real Mocha, you're going to still be using Real Mocha. So I would say if you're solid on PvE, go ahead and summon for her. If you're not really into PvP at all, then don't summon for her because she's not going to be a really strong PvE unit. She's mostly going to be for PvP. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys when we know more about the other character. Thanks for watching.